Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and today we're gonna steep some tea. All right, you guys, so it is that time again. It is time for my October tea empties. I am kind of shocked by the amount of tea that I finished in October. It was, yeah, there's a lot. So let's get into it. First off, we have Tea Source Rock Oolong. Now, I got this tea when I first bought my Gaiwan because I wanted to use some oolongs in it, and I really enjoyed sipping on this. I would definitely consider repurchasing if I ever purchase from Tea Source again. That was a really good one. Next, I have both of my tins from ESTEAS teas, her Chinese red and her honey orchid oolong. These teas are so good. I am so sad that they're gone, but I enjoyed them so much while I drank them. The honey orchid oolong is such a delightful, complex tea, and when you use it in your Gaiwan, every infusion just unfolds the flavors, and oh, it is so good. And the Chinese red, if you are a black tea drinker, this is a great tea, both in a Gaiwan or also Western style. They are both so good, and I definitely want to restock once SD gets them back in stock. I do think I have a discount code still, so I'll leave that down below. I'm not sure when she's planning on restocking everything because of the pandemic, but definitely follow her on Instagram so that you can be updated whenever that happens. This was another one I'm so sad to be gone with. This is my Tea by Daniel When Megan Met Harry blend. Oh, you guys, this tea is so good. It tastes just like a chocolate covered strawberry. I did a review on it, so I'll leave a link to that down below. But if you ever order from Tea by Daniel and you like chocolate covered strawberries, like, do not question whether or not to get that. 100% do it. Next is the raspberry ganache from FORTE. I bought this a while ago and wasn't a huge fan of it hot, but when I started doing cold steepings of it, that's when it really shined. This as an iced tea was really enjoyable, and if you ever end up ordering it, I would definitely recommend trying it iced. I thought it was a really enjoyable tea iced. Next is my DAVIDsTEA Jasmine Black Pearls. This was part of a sampler from the very first time that I ordered from DAVIDsTEA, maybe, I guess it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I am very new to DAVIDsTEA, so I wasn't sure what to buy when I first ordered from them, so I got their black tea sampler. Now, this was the last one. The jasmine tea pearls lasted a really long time since you don't need a lot of them. While I do enjoy jasmine, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, I have to be in the mood for a floral black tea because it's definitely not the thing that I reach for every day. I finished up one of my Bird and Blend matcha sample size. This was from a pack of matchas that my husband got me for, I think it was for Valentine's Day. I've tried all of them, but I haven't finished all of them. So this is the first one that I've actually finished, which is kind of exciting to finally be finishing up my matchas. All right, next up, we will do bags. Okay, so first up from Adagio is Darjeeling. This is an oolong, and I was inspired to try it after watching Jackie's video. I will link it down below. She was talking about how it was like her one of the first teas that she had ever bought from Adagio. So I was excited to try it, and it was enjoyable. I don't think I would repurchase, but I definitely didn't hate drinking it. The Green Rooibos Bonita. This was a tea that I bought because I was trying out some of more green rooibos blends. Hot, wasn't a huge fan, but iced, it was fine. Just really, rooibos is such a hit or miss with me. So, Masala Chai. Ever since I discovered that chai is like now a thing for me, I have been on the hunt for all the different chais. So this was fine. It wasn't my favorite masala chai that I've had, but you know, in a pinch, it did its job. Minty Comfort. If you've never watched any of my videos before, I'm a voiceover actor, and so I talk a lot for my job, and I'm always looking for soothing teas to drink. So this has been a staple the last few weeks as my soothing tea that I reach for after a long session. It was fine. I wouldn't say it was anything that I would get again, but it did its job and I was happy with it. DAVIDsTEA Deep Blue Spirulina. I bought this because I had never had anything with blue pea flower in it before, and I was so excited when I found out what happens when you add lemon to it. If you don't know, anything with butterfly pea flower in it steeps up blue, and if you add some lemon to it, then it turns purple because of the chemical reaction. So I was really intrigued and I wanted to try it. I tried it both hot and iced, and I definitely think iced is my preferred way of drinking it. But yeah, if you're looking for a fun experience with blue pea flower, this will do it for you. David's Chai from DAVIDsTEA. I know that Danny on YouTube loves this. I believe it's her favorite chai, and so I had to try it, and I enjoyed it. I don't think I would rebuy because I think the star anise is just not my thing. It's not the right chai blend for me, but if it's definitely worth trying out if you've never had it before. Next up is the Brooklyn Tea Masala Chai. I also did a review on this one, and I will link that below for you as well. This masala chai was amazing, and I was so sad that I had such a small bag of it. If I order from Brooklyn Tea again, I know I will be ordering a giant bag of this. It was so good, and it is definitely like the chai to live up to for me. Oh, it's so good, guys. Okay. Next up is Made of Tea and Nothing Else, their organic oolong. I got this in a Sips by box that I didn't know was coming. I thought I had canceled my Sips by box, but it was actually just on hold. And it's not that I didn't enjoy my Sips by box, because I love Sips by. I think they're a great company. They give you lots of options. I love that you can tailor what they send to you based on your flavor profile and that you can switch it up. But I was finding that I was having a hard time sipping through these smaller samples when I had so much tea to get through. So about 6 months ago, when I really made a concerted effort to sip down my stash, I thought I canceled it, but it was just on hold. Anyway, so I got a surprise Sips by box, and both of these came in it. So this was so good. This was unlike any oolong I've ever had. It had like this kick to it that I was not expecting, and so I ended up buying like a full size of this, and it just arrived the other day, so I'm really excited to continue to drink that and develop my thoughts on it a little bit more, and maybe I'll share that with you guys after I've had some time to drink it a little bit longer. This is the Baltimore Breakfast, which was also something I got in my Sips by box. This was a classic breakfast tea, definitely something that I would reach for every day. I have never had anything from WIGHT Tea, which is who this is by. There we go. So I would be interested in seeing them. I'm really drawn to this packaging. I don't know why, but I am, so I would be curious to try some of their other tea. Now we are moving on to tea bags. So next up is these two from FORTE. I cold steeped these. These single steep teas I got as a way of expanding my black tea tastes maybe like a year and a half ago, and I haven't been a huge fan of any of them, so it's kind of been a struggle to get through them for me. But if you like flavored black teas, I definitely think FORTE's sampler packs are really accessible and worth looking into if that's your thing. Next up is my Tazo awake teas. I always have these in the house, and I have been working through all of my tea bags as a way to refresh my stash, get the out with the old, in with the new. Are some YOGI honey lemon throat comforts. Again, as I mentioned, I like soothing teas for especially in the evenings after a long day of talking and recording. They're always a go-to thing to have on hand. Next up are these Hori Suns decaffeinated Ceylons. I have had these in every Tea Empties video so far. Not a huge fan of these on their own, but if you combine them with something else like a peppermint, like I think they're really enjoyable, especially again in the evenings when you're trying to not drink a ton of caffeine. Next up are these Night Owl teas from Eastern Shore Tea Company. This was a gift from my sister and brother-in-law like a really long time ago, and they have just been sitting in my stash. They are a blend of black and white tea, and they're supposed to be very highly caffeinated. While they aren't bad, the flavor is not a traditional black tea, so it's kind of a little sweeter, and I tend to not go for sweeter teas, so I think that's why they've sat in my stash for so long, but I wanted to work my way through these because they're getting old and it's time to clear them out. Some more from my Sips by Box. I have to say that part of the reason why I stopped my Sips by Box was because I wasn't sipping through my samples very quickly, but I plowed through this box. I think I drank everything from it. There might be one more of these. So this is the VAHDAM Sweet Cinnamon Chai Tea. I was really excited about this, but it just wasn't for me. It was very cinnamon heavy. Not ever really my thing is super cinnamon heavy, but I know that Kayla over at Kayla's Kitchen either did a review on this or she posted about it, and I think she really liked it. So if you tend to lean towards the teas that Kayla is drawn to, you very well might like these sweet cinnamon chai teas from VAHDAM Tea Company. And last but certainly not least are these two from Stash. There's only two because I ran out of my Stash peppermint blends, and so I've been using my loose leaf peppermint with my decaf tea. And then this is the Stash White Christmas, and I still have some of these from last year, so it is that time of year again, and I'm excited to be sipping on these again. This is white tea, peppermint, and ginger root, and so looking forward to enjoying the rest of these this holiday season. All right, you guys, so those are my tea empties for October. I can't believe how much tea I drank. Like, this is crazy. I wasn't even trying, which is I think that's the thing that is so shocking to me, is that I wasn't even trying to work through my teas the way I was in August and September. I was really consciously working on getting rid of things, and I managed to accomplish quite a lot of that without even trying, so that was good. Thanks again for joining me. If you were working on a sip down this month, leave me a comment down below and let me know if there were any pain point teas that you just been sitting there and that you just needed to get rid of, or if you got rid of some of your absolute favorite blends like I did with those ESTEAS and Tea by Daniel teas. Like, I'm so sad they're gone and I have to reorder ASAP. All right, so thanks again for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.